topic is Steve Jobs, a great visionary. So let us today learn about Steve Jobs. Who is he? What are his achievements? Let us read the lesson and come to know, children. So Steve Jobs is a co-founder and CEO of Apple. Okay, he is a co-founder and CEO of Apple and was born in San Francisco, California on 24th February 1955. So what is the full form of CEO? CEO means what? CEO means Chief Executive Officer, refers to the highest position in an organization or company who looks after overall management and administration. Okay, he was in a very high position. So let us learn more about him. How was his childhood? So let us learn children here. So Steve Jobs, the co-founder and CEO of Apple, was born in San Francisco, California on February 24, 1955. His father's name was Paul. Was a mechanist. His father was a mechanist who worked for a company that made lasers and taught his son rudimentary electronics. Okay, his father's name was Paul. He was a mechanist and then who worked for a company and then that made lasers and also he taught his son. Rudimentary means basic. Rudimentary means basic electronics. He also learned from his father when he was very young then. And then what happened? Jobs was not a regular type of student. He was not a regular type of student. At Montalona Elementary School in Mountain View, he was a prankster. Prankster means what? One who always plays jokes on others. He was not like a regular student. He was a little bit different from others. He was a prankster. So he used to make jokes on others and so like that. So then what happened there? Whose fourth grade teacher needed to bribe him in order to make him steady. Bribe means what? Money that you give or offer to persuade somebody or to do something, generally a dishonest action. So his fourth grade teacher, so he needed to bribe him in order to make him to study there. So he was very naughty there. He proved to be so bright. He proved to be so bright that administrators wanted to push him ahead to high school. He was very bright when he was very small in school when he was studying. He was very bright. So what the administrators thought, they taught him to push him to the high school because he was having so much knowledge there. So he was so much talented there. So seeing that one, so they wanted him to push ahead to high school, but his parents did not agree for that. Okay, his parents did not agree for that. Following high school in 1972, Jobs enrolled at Reed College in Portland, Oregon. Okay. Following his high school in 1972, Jobs enrolled at Reed College in Portland, Oregon. He dropped out of college. So then what happened there? He dropped out of college after 6 months and spent the next 18 months dropping in and out of courses, including one in calligraphy. So he was not permanent in one class. He was joining and again he used to drop out. So like that it took 18 months dropping in and out of courses, including one in calligraphy. He was more interested in calligraphy also. He learned that. So like that his school days, his college days were like that. Okay. So he was joining and he used to drop out from the college and so many courses he had and then including in that one calligraphy was also included there. So he was very much interested in that also. In 1974, Jobs took a job as a technician at Atari, okay, in Los Gatos, California. He came to India in search of spiritual enlightenment. He came to India also in search of spiritual enlightenment. He left India after 7 months. He stayed here in India for 7 months. He came to India in search of spiritual enlightenment. He was not like a regular student. He was not like a ordinary child. Okay, so he wanted to something he wanted to prove there, something he wanted to do to the world there. So like that, even he came to India and then he spent 7 months here in search of spiritual enlightenment. He went back there. So then what happened later? Let us read and come to know, children. Jobs' association with Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak proved to be a milestone. So his friend's name is Steve Wozniak. Jobs' association. Okay, proved to be a milestone. So that Jobs, Wozniak and Ronald Wayne founded Apple Computers in the garage of Jobs' parents. So his father was a mechanist, no? So what happened? Along with his friend's name is Wozniak and Ronald White founded Apple Computer in the garage of Jobs' parents. So in the garage of his father's garage, along with his friends, he invented this Apple Computer in the garage of Jobs' parents. They founded their entrepreneurial venture. Entrepreneurial venture means a business project or activity. A business project or activity. They found their entrepreneurial venture after Jobs sold his Volkswagen bus and Wozniak sold his beloved scientific calculator. So they were having so much idea, but they were not having money there. So what they did? So Jobs, he sold his Volkswagen and Wozniak sold his scientific calculator. Okay. Jobs and Wozniak revolutionized the computer industry by democratizing the technology and making the machines smaller, cheaper and accessible to ordinary consumers. Accessible means what? That can be seen, reached, used, entered, etc. So like that they have invented this. So they democratized the technology and by making the machines smaller, cheaper and accessible to ordinary consumers. 3 years after the release of Apple's second model, Apple II, sales increased by 2% in 1980. Okay, he had become rich by that time. And then 3 years after that, Apple's second model, sales increased by 2% in 1980. Following a strict competition with IBM, resulting in a drop in sales, Steve had to resign as Apple CEO in 1985. Then what happened later? There was a competition. Okay, that was between the IBM, resulting in a drop in sales. What happened? Steve had to resign as Apple CEO in 1985. So he resigned from his job there to begin a new hardware and software company called Next Apple Company. Okay, eventually bought the company in 1997. That same year, Jobs returned to his post as Apple CEO. What happened again? Again he rejoined. Okay, that same year, Jobs returned to his post as Apple CEO in the year 1997. Apple introduced many revolutionary products as the MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, iPod and iPhone, all of which have dictated the evolution of modern technology. So again when he rejoined, so what he introduced many revolutionary products like MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, iPod, iPhone and what he introduced there. Okay children, after a long battle, so what happened? After a long battle with cancer, Steve Jobs died on October 5th, 2011. After a long battle with cancer, Steve Jobs died on October 5th, 2011. He was 56 at the time of his death. Jobs was a demanding perfectionist who always aspired to position his products at the forefront of the IT industry by setting trends in innovation and style. Aspired means what? Having a strong desire to achieve something. Okay, and so he was he was fighting against the disease called cancer, and then he had to lose his life. Okay, because of that. And then Jobs was not an ordinary person. He was having so many ideas. He wanted to achieve something. Okay, he wanted to invent more things so that can be easy for the people, that can be easy for the common people to reach. Okay children, so you can just see your mobile phones, you can see that symbol on that Apple symbol, you can see on that iPhone, iPad. Okay, you can just see that one. So whenever you see that, you can just remember Steve Jobs there. And then his products at the forefront of the IT industry by setting trends in innovation and style. Innovation means what? New changes. Okay, he wanted to bring some new changes also there. So he wanted to achieve something new there. So then also children, when he was in the hospital, so what happened here? See, even while on his bed in the hospital, Jobs designed new devices. Even while he was on the bed, he designed new designs that would hold the iPad in hospital bed, that can hold iPad in hospital bed. He also observed the oxygen monitor on his finger and suggested ways to revise the design for simplicity. So there also he was thinking about that only. He wanted to revise the design for simplicity there. Even when he was on the bed, he designed new devices there, okay, that would hold the iPad in a hospital bed like that. He designed it. Okay, and what was his last words spoken few hours before his death were, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow." The list below shows his achievements. The list below shows his achievements like this. Steve Jobs made so many achievements, children, and then just you can see honors and awards here. And then there is one great message that we get from Steve Jobs, like whatever you choose to invest your life in, be assured that what you do is storing treasure in heaven. What you store is storing treasure in heaven. So honors and awards they are given here in 1985, National Medal of Technology by President Ronald Reagan, and then in 1989, Entrepreneur of the Decade title. Entrepreneur of the Decade title also he got, and in February 2012, Grammy Trustee Award, and then March 2012, named as the greatest entrepreneur of our time. Okay, like this, honors and awards were given. Okay, he made so many achievements, and at last he was away from us. Okay, children. So let me end my class here. I hope you have understood. So whatever device you use, like iPad, iPhone, so those are all invented by Steve Jobs only. Okay. So let me end my class here, children. Thank you.